Hirsch, the CEO of Mashable.com. We are an internet news source and resource focused on social media. Started off as a social networking blog. We talked about social networks, and obviously social networks have evolved from here into social media. You know, any content out there these days is social, and it has a social aspect to it. So really, we're about covering what's happening on the web.
What is the audience going to have as a point of reference?
Alright, that's a very good question, and Mashable actually started dealing with this recently, and it's transparency. We will never do a sole blog post that's an advertisement, but we will take a sponsor for a post, and we don't let them dictate the content. The editorial matter is up to us. We say on the top, hey, this post is supported by, and on the bottom we say, hey, this post is supported by, and here's your link. Now, the fake produced content that's, you know, creepingly getting a lot more prevalent is a different situation, and I think most users will call BS on that, and they won't take it, and I think a lot of the brands who've been experimenting with that are learning that very quickly, that it's not the way to go. You need to figure out new, innovative methods, be transparent, be honest, and target the right audience that you're trying to reach.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
No hablo español.
No.
Hablo poquito. So English is better. So my name is Shay David, and I'm a founder and VP of Business and Community Development for Kaltura. And Kaltura is the first provider of open source video to the web. And what that means is that we provide the first open source video solution stack. We empower about 20,000 websites right now. I think sometimes, you know, if a brand knows how to work it, then it could be a playful thing. If there's deceit involved, and if people are trying to cheat the audience into thinking that the video is something other than what it is, I consider that dishonest. And the good news about being in that space is that people are going to catch you on that line. It's going to backfire on you. So I think a lot of people are not going to be willing to risk it. But there's a lot of time for experimentation. If you remember the Lonely Girl video, that were some of the first videos. It took a lot of time for people, maybe 15 episodes, for people to discover that those were actually professionally produced. So in that sense, I think that sometimes being able to play that line could actually add to the dramatic effect when people actually go with it. But if you're trying to cheat, I think that's problematic. I think the flip side of that we've seen a lot of is all those cases where there's a campaign for user-generated ads. So it's kind of the reverse. It's like, instead of professionals posing as amateurs, it's amateur posing as professionals. And there was famous cases with like the Chevy Tahoe ads, where people took those materials and repurposed it and showed how the Tahoe was actually a really bad truck. And some of them are good and some of it is bad, but the only remedy to that is having more of the same. At the end of the day, the wisdom of the crowd and the voice of the people is going to kind of signal out the good from the bad.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Absolutely, my pleasure.